Hood Tour episode 4, or season 4 episode 35, I think it is. I didn't look. Fucking work is a bunch of bullshit. Schedule should have fucking been out by now. But Autumn's waiting on Dee Dee. Which makes sense, but Dee Dee told me the fucking 18th, this, which is today, for her post-op or whatever. And it should have been done, it should have found out today. Because otherwise Tony would be getting on Autumn about it not being done. Because I was texting with her last night and they were like, hey, I was like, is there any way that I can find out what fucking next Friday and a week from this coming, or a week from tomorrow and a week from this coming Sunday, if I can find out when I'm at least working those 2 days. And she's like, no, unfortunately I can't, and I was talking to her about it today, she explained it a little bit better. She's like, unfortunately I can't because I'm still waiting on Dee Dee. And I said, because I told her and I justified why I asked, and I told her the only reason why I asked is because I really want to know mainly Sunday what I need to work if I am, and it's not that I care that I work, it's just hopefully it's later. She's like, no, like, she was like, I can't unfortunately tell you because if I tell you it's going to be this, and there's probably a good chance that it's going to have to change. And I said, well, then that's not fucking fair to me because I want to go out by mom and dad, and dad wants me to stay the fucking night as much as I do too. And I ain't going to go out then if I have to be here in the morning. She's like, yeah, you got a point. She's like, yeah, true, but you're gonna have to work if you have to. I said, yeah, I know. It's getting to the fucking point. I'm gonna tell her it's either you give me the fucking $6,000 that I paid for that that I put towards that camper, and I'll work whatever you want, or you give me the fucking weekend off and we don't talk about it. And you give me, when I want to in August or in October off too. She's not going to like when I put in at the end, early next year, all the weekends that I'm going. She's like, well, what about me? And I'm like, dude, I got fucked last year. I got... fucked last year, almost 3 months in a row. She's like, how? I said, because I couldn't go in August because Amber went the same fucking weekend I wanted to. I couldn't go in September because of Dee Dee. You know, I couldn't go Labor Day weekend because the campground was fucking full. And now I'm most likely gonna have to fucking miss the end of the goddamn season. You know, I'm fucking following, you know, the schedule because I have to fucking work. I'm getting fucked because of this place. Now it's gonna be my fucking turn. I'm gonna fuck that place over. I'm gonna go camping the rest of the goddamn season. I think it's gonna be fucking rough for you guys. And there's some audience be like, why? I say, because tomorrow I'm done. I tell her tomorrow's my last fucking day. She's like, why are you quitting? I say, because I'm getting fucked. I can't see my family. I mean, I understand how you guys fucking feel, you know, but you know, you get to go home at 4 o'clock. Autumn gets to go home at 4 o'clock every fucking day on the days that she don't have to close. I mean, I have to be here late, or I have to get stuck here past 4 or whatever. I can't go hang out for a little vacation with my mom and dad. I can't. She's like, yeah, but you don't have a fucking family. I said, dude. No, I want to tell her, dude, you don't fucking realize I could pay that fucking camper off because of this place. You know, it's gonna get to the fucking point that I'm gonna apply at the goddamn Deliot Festival, and they're gonna ask me if I have any vacations coming up, and I'm gonna tell them, I'd be like, you know, if the over the phone one goes good this time, and do an in-person interview, and they ask it, you know when I can start, you know, I'll tell them tomorrow. I'll quit today. I'll start tomorrow. My hours are gonna be 11 to 4, Monday to Friday, unless otherwise. And they're like, well, what do you mean? Because I want a set fucking schedule. It's either I work like 10:30 to 4, or fuck. You know, it's either I work 10:30 to fucking 4 every day, or 11 to 4. Monday to Friday. You know, and then that's going to give me Saturday and Sunday off, unless spoken otherwise. I got a little short family trip that I'm taking with my mom and dad next week that I'm going to need Friday off for. I could have just turned left. I'm an idiot. You're like, well, no, we need somebody for nights. I said, dude, you got more than enough fucking people for nights. You know, because there's not going to be a lot of people that are going to want to get shit from the deli after 6. You know, or sorry, after 7. And it ain't going to be much. You know, when I applied the second time for the cart runner, we were camping when I did the fucking over the phone interview. I said, hey, I'm sorry if you hear any like banging and rustling around, or you know, any loud noises. I'm sorry that we're trying to set up our camper. We're in the middle of fucking camping right now. I didn't swear, but I told her that, you know, we're in the middle of setting up my camper and we're going to be camping. So if there's any weird noises or whatever that you hear, I'm sorry. She's like, oh, it's no big deal. Whatever. And that fucking sucks. So then we started with the interview. It went good and all that, but she's like, well, okay, the interview went good, you know, give us like a day or two or whatever it was, I forget, to look, you know, think it over, and we'll get back to you relatively soon. Because she asked about my availability for hours. I said I'm pretty much open. I told her I mainly want to work days instead of nights.